we do have an engine in a box. We have a screwdriver in a box. Now the only problem is that the box is very broken and bits of the engine are on the ground. So yeah, I'm going to try to get this up on the table. Oh guys, this engine is a fucking mess. Tiny piece of hardware. It's one of the ones that fell out of the bottom of the box. Probably a valve return spring. Oil thrower. Completely fucked O-ring there. More hardware. The box is still falling apart, but I did get it on up. It's a 450, 148 cc, 4.5 foot-pounds of torque motor. Okay. Oh. Well, because as you can tell, it's fucked. I'd love to say I got it this way, but this is in fact not how I received this engine. When I received this engine, sorry, I'm just trying to move this engine one-handed here, don't mind me. When I got this engine, it was complete but unrunning. It is not stuck, but it is moving that, and that's where I got caught up years and years ago, was on our oil pan. It got stuck to our crank. I couldn't get it off. I knew it had bad piston rings, but I just couldn't get to them. So pull out parts and parts, and that's nice. We got a valve there. It'll definitely need to be cleaned. This engine's going to need thorough cleaning. I made a lot more work out of this motor than there was. But it'll be cool to come back. Can you not? It'll be cool to come back a few years later and try to fix this engine. I don't even know what the fuck this is. This might have come off my Husqvarna. As I had said, I knew this was going to give us trouble. I knew it was stuck onto the shaft. And pretty much back then I was trying to get some penetrating oil to deal with it. And 4 years later I have penetrating oil. That is kind of the real reason this sat. This does have a chunk taking out of the bottom here, but it's not within the crankcase. It's outside of it in the mounting area. Well, if I can get it running, I know what I want to do with it. But we're just going to move up ton shit. Get up to the front here too. Just stand it up. Yeah, that'll do. Well, it's smart enough that all of the head bolts are hand tight in here, so at least I know where all of those are. That was when I packed it up and got ready to move it across state lines. I would have done this. I would have done more if I really knew where anything was and where it went. But I knew where these bolts were because I'd always kept them separate. Even though I really did not know what I was doing, I knew that this section was important. So I had that going for me. I didn't know what the camshaft was. I didn't know what the oil thrower was. I didn't really know much of what I was looking at. I knew where the carburetor was, but I knew it didn't have to touch it, so I didn't. I think I got the air cleaner off, and I think that's as far as I went. And that was just to confirm that the air cleaner on this thing was a brittle mess. And well, yeah, it was. Oh. Oops. Lift our head off. We got some gasket, but don't know about that one. We do have both our valves in here. So at least I haven't dropped out these valves. Don't know if it has spark. Guess I'm gonna get it off all that. And how does this piston move? It doesn't really seem to love life. We're just gonna go ahead and give it some peanut butter. I should tear this plastic shroud off, huh? If I had to guess. That is something I should consider. We'll leave that like that. Conclusive evidence of looking at this shroud for the first time, looking at it for the first time in 4 years and actually knowing model numbers. This engine was manufactured in 2007, meaning this book that I think only goes to 92 has no content. Because it's too fucking early. Genius. So, we're gonna give this the big winger, buddy. A lot of carbon on this head. Should give her a cleanup. I don't know any of the history of this engine. This one was given to me, I think for Christmas I got this engine. And yeah, it tore it down. It was, oh, okay, simple piston rings. And then this got stuck where it is. So here I am now. That is all over gasket material off of that. That'll need to be cleaned. I need to get carb cleaned for that. I'll check if this thing has spark at some point. Plug actually doesn't look bad. Looks like it's got some carbon on it, but this is broken, but I'm not too concerned. This engine came to me in a box. And I took it out of the box, I tore it down, I put it into a box torn apart. Oh, you know, I think that might have moved. I'm just gonna... There's no shot, we definitely moved. This thing's moved for the first time in a number of years. We're getting started. Hooray! The bare minimum's been achieved, guys. Are you happy? Celebrate with me. Do a little dancey dance. So, down in here it's not too bad. Yeah, down in here it'll move, but it's not a big fan. I'm gonna go get me a microfiber. Actually, no I'm not. Fuck a microfiber. I got these. Soaked up some of the PV glass and some of the trash off this old shaft that's just been exposed for the last 3 years. clean up this shaft. Try to clean up all the debris and stuff and get it good enough for this to slide on out. I get the feeling that most of this engine is going to be cleaned up with 60 grit and a wire brush. This thing will get more treatment than it deserves, but it's not going to get it from high quality tooling. I just don't have that. But I do have a plan for this engine. And it's a pretty neat plan, if I'm allowed to say so. Which I am, because it's my channel. We're seeing some shiny metal now, which is nice. It's right back to having problems. Okay, I was wondering why it wouldn't stand. Okay, well we got it temporarily free, but pretty very temporarily. I guess we'll... Whoa, Nelly. I think there's something wrong with it. I'm not too sure though. I guess I smacked my thumb into something. We're gonna dry this off, hit it with a bit more sander. Hoping we can get just a bit more clearance. I really thought we had it there, to be honest, but it just did not want to come up off that little edge. And it did. That was really what caught it up, seemingly. Very, very last little bit. How's that? I guess that's not much better. I think the bearing is probably frozen. Okay, well he's moving again. Oh! We got it. Holy shit. I'm about 700% confident that should not have been that much of a chore. I mean, it took 4 years, for fuck's sakes. Anywho, we now have us an engine. It apparently doesn't really want to spin. There it goes. I mean, it spins. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead. We don't have a good gasket, but we do have something resembling a gasket. Yeah, I had this right. Put this through. Maybe our gasket. But we should probably get rings for her anyhow. But I think I'm going to get some other stuff lubed up and get it moving and just kind of get this thing, and then probably disassemble it as well. Actually, I think I'll just go on with disassembly and just say, yeah, I'm replacing the rings, I'm replacing gaskets, there's a good amount of stuff we got to replace on this engine. We got to replace our air cleaner. So we're gonna. No, we're not. Yeah, we're gonna start by turning our engine that way a little bit. Alright. Just the way I have my camera angled down, I had my screen upside down and it confused me for a second. So what size do I need for you? I'm guessing smaller. Yep. You're not smaller. Smaller. There we go. No, these aren't spinning. What the fuck? It's holding these on. Nothing. There. They were just torqued to the fucking moon. That's all. I'm gonna need a torque wrench when I go to put this all back together, so I guess trial by fire is how I'm trying to get that. Oh man. Alright, that one's come out. You just gotta thread this one out, our connecting rod will come off, and we'll be able to send our piston out. Great. Hoping this bite out of this is intentional. If it isn't one thing, it's another, huh guys? Wrong way. Got briefly interrupted there, but while you guys were off, I did get the exhaust unstuck. I figured it'd just thread it on there, and it did. It was just being difficult earlier. But that allows me to get that off. Man. Yeah, okay. But it looks pretty clean up in there, honestly. Continuing this engine's trend of being a really gunky engine on the outside, but not being so terrible on the inside. Even this gasket doesn't look so bad. Huh. Biggest thing that worries me is our single push rod here. So I've been out here with this Briggs and Stratton for a little bit more time. Go ahead and tell me about that. If that bite's supposed to be there, I can't see any pictures if it is or isn't supposed to be. I've been out here tearing down at this. I was trying to test if it had spark. It was just turning over a bit too hard by hand for me to really check if it had spark. I went ahead and threw a spark plug on my order list anyhow. I don't know about the coil, but I don't think it would be expensive to get this engine going. It won't, the project that I have planned for this, it won't be for at least a year. Even if I get this engine running, the likelihood that I do something with this for until it's sat long enough to not run again is pretty high, honestly, but I do intend to get it running just because, I mean, I lost one of the tappet valves, you know. I did a number to this engine. This tank is a stinker, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the fuel tank. And I think that's one of the last things I want to do to this engine before I set it aside, get parts ordered in, and get them all replaced. I'm ordering just some gaskets and the like, and then we're gonna see if we can't get this together and get it run again. That's cooler, I guess. So this is our fuel tank right here. This is our carburetor. I'm not sure what holds this on. Looks like 4 screws and a bolt. So we're going to take the screwdriver here. We're going to want a longer screwdriver than that. Oh, that wrench should sit right here. Hey, I'll take it. Random socket sitting out, perfect size. I'm guessing that means, you know, I'd used it earlier and it was just intelligent design from Briggs. But get that bit put away. I'll get all of this stuff backed out. Actually, should release all that at once because I bet there's a gasket in there. I think taking these out a bit slower and more uniform might help it. And then I don't have to add another thing to my buy list. This one's a 90T500, I think, or 9T500. No, it was built in 07. This screwdriver isn't very happy with life. Well, we lost the bracket. That just slides on and off there. Well, we got a tank. But honestly, the more I look at her, the more I think this is actually a pretty good engine. Biggest thing at this point I'm unsure of is this coil. I don't know if that's going to want to spark for us. The carburetor is built into the gas tank. I got all the screws out of there, but it itself hasn't come off. It honestly, it doesn't look bad in there. I think I'm just going to set these screws back down in it and tighten them down. Hope that that gasket's still good. And give her a spray out with Carb Clean. Because, I mean, it's just, it doesn't seem that, oh, that's probably what's holding it on. There's 5 screws. Well, don't care. Yeah, I think cleaning this carburetor, cleaning this fuel tank, that'll be really all we have to do with it, hopefully, and then it'll just run like peach. And then replace some of our gaskets and get our cylinder head cleaned up and just clean everything up, especially stuff like camshaft and stuff that's now been sitting out of the engine on a desk for a year or in a box for a few years. Clean up all that stuff, get it looking nice again, and then put it all back together. New spark plug, a few new gaskets, and tappet valve that was lost due to ignorance. I think we had a runner. She'll run. Of course she'll run, she's in my care. I can make anything run. I just tooted, and other than that, I think that's kind of this engine for a little while, folks. So, I want to just straight on that valve that I know was having problems. If that continues to stick, then we might have to pull it apart and do something about it. But we'll know all that kind of stuff when we go ahead and do it later. It is now free moving with the motor spinning instead of holding it up like it was and deforming the cam gear, which is nice. I think it's a peach, to be honest with you. I think she'll run well. And I think for what I plan to use her for, I think she'll be a little underpowered, just like the engine. She's being paired with the little Husqvarna chainsaw. I think they're both going to be mighty underpowered, but they're both very free engines, and both of them run, which is more important. So they have a plan for them. They'll probably be mighty quick replaced, but it'll be a pretty cool plan. Either way, I think we'll get this engine running for less than $100. And, yeah. You know, you guys keep an eye out for when I go ahead and get all these new parts and clean up everything, get it all reassembled. Yeah, I can't wait to see if this old girl will crack over, to be honest with you. I mean, I pulled this thing out of a box years and years ago and then put it back into a different box in pieces because I didn't know what I was doing. And it had gotten to a point about a year after I tore it apart, I looked at it and said, oh, fuck, I didn't do this good. And I kind of just got overwhelmed looking at it, but yeah, getting it on the table and tearing it down, having it all laid out the way it is here, where, you know, I have this whole engine up on this table pretty much, and there isn't much left on this. I mean, all that's left of this is like the valves and the block and pulley and stuff. Most of the stuff, it's a simple engine, most of it's ripped apart, so. But the expensive thing's going to be the rings on this. $40 for the rings. The rest of the parts on my gaskets and stuff, probably around the same price as the rings alone. So, yeah, I think we got us a runner then.